The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed on this program are the speaker's own. The material and information presented here is for general information and entertainment purposes only. This program might include strong images or language and may not be suitable for all audiences. This podcast was mainly created for fun and entertainment, and because we're the only podcast that has a big enough bravado to talk about all these. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back to the Kingdom Podcast Season 4. This is Yuki, this is Bobby, this is Ingrid. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and on YouTube, all in the same name at the Kingdom Pod PH. We don't normally announce our socials nowadays, but you can follow us on our socials. For myself, Instagram at Yukmeister, Ingrid here, TikTok, Ingrid Marie IIE. For Instagram, it's the same name with an underscore at the end. For Bob here, it's on TikTok, Instagram, and on Twitch at probably Bobby. Probably by Bobby. So,
No, probably Bobby is nice.
oh shoot,
It's
yeah,
correct. I mean,
yeah, probably
it's okay
Bobby.
if you don't know me.
I do. It's like it just gets confusing. There's something. Sometimes there's a
There's
buy.
probably Bye Bobby, Bob Ranghe.
Yeah.
Because I'm good
So
at usernames. I don't know why.
Yes, you are. You
I,
are.
I I really like your
Pretty
usernames. Yeah.
clever.
Mm-mm, I do. So you might be wondering, there's not a lot of humor when it comes to this episode. That's why we started it off with that. It's quite a serious topic nowadays. No, nowadays, not currently. Um, it's been going on that a lot of people have revisited talking about the Burning Sun scandal because of the recent BBC documentary, which, might I say, was really well written and really, it's like, just filled with facts and just notable people, being talked about there, may it be on a positive or a negative note. Um, and we also wanted to talk about this. And I wanted to start it off by prefacing this, that this will be a very serious topic. There's going to be a lot of indecent acts done that we'll be probably talking about.
Hmm.
This has violence against women and a lot of, the what do you call this? Uh, Unfathomable words that I'd rather not say that were done to women.
Yeah.
So, just a quick disclaimer for everyone: please tune out if you're not comfortable with listening to something like this. But uh, we wanted to, talk about this, what it affects us, because it's like this is really saddening. We have, in our team, Ingrid here, who is a female as well. So it's really just super difficult hearing all the stories, watching this documentary, what kind of heinous acts
Mm.
people can do with the stature that they're in, and having this sort of platform. We want to shed a little bit of light, or in a sense, like have like a conversation that can hopefully affect anyone that listens to this show better after hearing and watching something like this. So yeah, quick disclaimer. Uh, just a really heavy topic for this week's episode. Okay, now that we got that out of the way,
Oh yeah.
this
I
documentary
wanted
really
to.
cool.
I
Yep.
wanted to mention as well. Like we may have some mistakes while talking about this, and feel free to
Yes.
call us out on it,
Mhm.
Yes.
because it's only based on one documentary. We're gonna talk about a documentary, and there's more information that's been out throughout the
There
years.
may not know. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about that for sure, because especially us as K-pop fans, we've encountered this topic for like almost 10 years now, which is insane, and the fact that it's still very relevant now is saddening.
Mhm.
So yes, please feel free to educate us more or add more in the comments. This is a conversation much needed, and it's very important as well to not only talk about the good sides of K-pop, and the dark sides, not just being the trainee life, but also what happens. to them as humans.
Yep.
May it be bad things happening to them or bad things they do to other people. Yeah.
Well said. So yeah, just going back, this documentary from BBC was, like I said, pretty well written. It had all of the sorry, that's Moju. Um, it had a lot of facts that was
Yeah.
obviously pointed out with the findings. Curious to hear your thoughts, both of you,
Is that
on
announced?
what was announced. Sorry,
Like that they were gonna release a documentary? Do you guys know?
I
I
don't
think it
think
was just
so.
published.
Yeah, it was
Whoa.
kind of just
Mm.
Because there
published.
was a crazy discussion, which makes I just wanted to put this out there like immediately. It was very insensitive of K-pop fans. Some K-pop fans, of course. They thought they were saying that this was like high propaganda because of everything happening around Hive.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? This is such a very important topic. So
Yeah.
if that's your mindset, please change that.
Yeah,
Because
let's
Yeah.
not do that, everyone. That's a
I
bad.
feel like it was good timing for the release because uh who got
Documentary.
out recently? Was it Trey or
JJY.
JJY? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
JJY.
Mm.
So it's very important because from what I know as of recording, Seungri, who was heavily involved in this scandal, is wants to open a nightclub in Colombia in
Cambodia.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Cambodia. Sorry
Mm.
about that. But yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
How they other than their sentences being awfully short, I can't
Mm-hmm.
believe they have like the opportunity still given to them because JJY, right?
JJY.
JJY.
JJY still will still be producing music allegedly after
Mm-hmm.
being released. That's wild.
Wild. Hmm.
Yeah.
Ingrid, how say you? It's like after watching this, I know you watched it multiple times.
Multiple.
Well,
Yeah.
just to add to what Bobby said, also
Hmm. Che Jong Hoon.
Che Jong Hoon from FD Island, his name was brought up again because apparently he's dating Hyuna. So yeah, it is quite timely for BBC
Oh, Jun
to
Hyung.
release this documentary, just because I think it serves as a reminder that these people are criminals and they shouldn't be just walking scot free and even getting opportunities the way that they are. So
It just sucks that
um,
there's no remorse at all for anyone.
yeah,
I feel like
yeah, and what's so sad about it is like a lot of fans are still in denial and are still saying that they're
really.
innocent in this, which
Uh,
is still mind blowing for me.
yeah.
If this documentary, or if the other information that has
The
been released
proof.
about this, is not enough, then I don't know what will convince them otherwise. Um, yeah, it's very saddening. I think this documentary had a lot of information that wasn't really given to us. Maybe they were just keeping it hush hush. I'm not sure, but this had a lot of like details that we didn't know about. Specifically, Guhara being directly involved in advancing
Rest in
this.
peace.
Yes, rest in peace. Being involved or like being crucial with this investigation, which is grabe. Like what a woman. Yeah. What about you? What about you, Yuki?
Che Jong Hoon announced in January 2024 that he plans to resume entertainment activities after 5 years. This guy that was convicted of illegal filming and
And
gang rape.
yeah,
The gall, might I just say, of this scumbag, this douche of a person.
again,
Um,
no remorse. No remorse
yeah,
at all.
exactly. No remorse. Like it doesn't feel that way. At least it's like I would probably rather just rot in a hole somewhere, work a 9 to 5 job,
Yeah.
Yeah.
be under the
Or like
radar, even change
if
my fucking name.
if they have like
Mhm.
the privilege, like just start. I don't know,
Start
business
fresh, or like, I don't know.
businesses, or I don't know. Uh,
Yeah, just
because
stay away from the limelight. Like if I'm
yeah,
someone
away from
was
the industry that made you an evil person in the first place, or gave you that power to like abuse people in certain ways. This is yeah, a very close topic to me. So it's weird because I've been a K-pop fan for so long, and it should be it should be it shouldn't be like this, if you know, because like in the documentary, if you haven't watched it, it says that since the Burning Sun scandal, I think cases like this has increased tenfold. So it never stopped even after calling out the Burning Sun.
yeah.
It got worse. I
Mm-hmm.
guess with the advancing of technology too and social media, it got worse. That's
Mm-hmm.
messed up. It just takes away the, you know, how misogynistic the country can be.
Yeah, it's a business for them. Like,
I am, yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
so normal for people to find hidden cameras in public restrooms and fitting rooms, and even in Airbnbs. Like, I'm not sure if you guys see people posting about their stay in Korea, like putting stickers or tape in places where they think there could be hidden cameras, which is wild. It's crazy. It's really sad how like women are seen as not human but as objects.
Yeah. Properties even isn't crazy.
Yeah,
These are people that I used to stan, which
same.
was really horrible.
Yeah.
Um, Lee Jong Hyun of CN Blue.
Oh yeah,
Over the
he's
years,
also
like
part of it.
I've been raving over, how CN Blue is just a really good band,
Mm.
probably the most relevant band in the industry. Um,
Minus Yoon Jung Young from Beast. I
mhm.
witnessed Beast from the beginning, and I still stand by, like, if things worked out for them, they would be the BTS um that we had. I don't know. But it all messed up after members left and things like this comes out. You don't know how
Mhm.
to react. And if you're a K-pop fan and your idol or anyone you look up to, doesn't have to be K-pop, does something horrible, uh don't feel bad that you supported them. You didn't know. You're only human. It just
Mm-hmm.
you just got to realize that we don't know these people at the end of the day. But don't ever feel bad for like feeling the feelings that you had while standing them, cuz I
Mm-hmm.
know people beat themselves up. Uh there were so many young VIPs for sure, the Big Bang fans. Um you didn't know. I mean, for sure, the boys, the Big Bang boys, they talk about how this asshole
Yeah, they're not
parties
really
a
a big
lot.
fan of Seungri. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like ever since debut, I feel like, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you know, you'd think it was just banter. Again, you're just a fan, so
Mm-hmm.
what you feel is valid. But the best thing you can do is just not tolerate or like justify what they do or did, because I don't know. I don't want to say it speaks about you as a person, but it
It
just
does.
Mm.
I
Sorry,
guess so. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
kind of
Okay,
does.
but do better. We can do better. Always improve, because our life shouldn't be surrounded or like s- revolve around people we don't know. We're
Yeah.
big K-pop fans, but we know our limits.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, that's a take I have.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that there was a recording once here on the podcast with one of my good friends and former co-hosts, that we talked about Big Bang and more or less like what happened, briefly on this issue. But until then, like up when we recorded that, I believe that a verdict wasn't drawn out yet, so it wasn't, a done deal. I think a trial was being held, or a trial was going to be held, so it
Mm-hmm.
was just like under investigation. And I said back then that, and I'll stand by it when I said that it's hard to just unstand a person
Mm-hmm.
until such point that
Yeah.
I actually know that he did it or he was convicted of on doing it. And I
Yeah.
can still remember what I said back then. It's like I still like this guy because obviously I'm a VIP, and it's just really hard to just throw away 5 or 6 years of me standing this group SOT5.
Mm-hmm.
But if it all goes to shit and he's proven that he actually did all this, then kudos, fuck you, rot in jail. I don't give a
Mm-hmm.
fuck. But
Yeah.
until then, and this is where like what you said, Bobby, is like sometimes people do kind of like defend the idols. And again, there's always that old saying, like, innocent until proven guilty, which was where I was
Mm.
back then. But now that everything has been laid out,
Mm.
then fuck that
Yeah.
guy.
They are guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy
Yeah.
hard. I don't even want to say his name. Um, I just lost all respect and
Mm-hmm.
all the love that I have
Mm.
for this person, and it's difficult. It's something like I don't want to sound like too emotional here, but I've been a VIP. It's like since 2016,
Mm.
almost 10 years. Maybe 2015. Kailan ba yung like before made around that time. So whatever that
Mm-hmm.
year it was, and it was just really sucky
Yeah. I
to
witnessed their
feel that
debut.
yeah. Oh, you witnessed their debut.
Yeah.
So there were how horrible that debut was, might I add.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Wait,
but
Haru Haru not their debut? I'm
no,
sorry.
not their debut, not their
Okay,
debut. Haru
since
Haru.
Haru Haru then. But yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was really just horrible, unloving a person. It's like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you need time. It's like
Yeah.
it's like an ex, it's like an ex, like where you kind of move on, but
It takes
this like
time to process.
yeah, it takes time to process.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy, I felt like I needed to unlove almost instantly,
Yeah.
and with good reason. And that's where I was. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like again, back then I was obviously naive. I didn't know all of the details. No one knew what the details
Mm-hmm.
were. But when everything came to light, fuck that dude, man.
Yeah. I could
Diana.
definitely relate to you because I still am a VIP. And
Yes, we
as
all are.
someone who always tries to support the underdog, wouldn't say he was the underdog of
He
Big Bang, but he was
was.
the
Was he not?
What?
least. Yeah, he
No.
was the
Fuck.
least favored among the members, so I kind of like gravitated towards him, um,
Mm,
because
okay.
Oh, was he
he
your
had this
bias?
image. Yeah, he was aside
Oh, okay.
from
That hurts
top
more.
Fuck.
so it was really difficult for me to hear that about him, which is crazy because it just shows how you never really know who these people are. He presented himself as this, I guess, he had this way of like making himself look like he was a loser in a way, so it wouldn't be possible for him to do those things. I guess it was a way for him to mask who he really was, which is pretty scary because like even the idols that we're probably standing now, like we'll never
Mm,
really know like what they're doing behind the scenes. So yeah, like what
for
Bobby
sure.
said, like you can't really trust, you have to
Yeah.
like separate yourself from these idols that you do support and love. Like
Yeah.
we can't, we can't uh how do I say it, always put them on a pedestal
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
way.
That's the best term. Yeah.
Mm.
But again, if you're a fan, especially or younger fans, don't blame yourself if you
Yeah.
if you get disappointed or if you don't know them very much. You
Mm.
can only do so much, unless you know
Yeah.
them. Know them. Huh.
Yeah,
That's
even with
unlikely.
Young, like he said so himself, like he didn't know any better before, but now,
Even
we
us,
changed, we yeah.
people don't know us, but we try to be good even off the pod.
Mm.
So we try to improve ourselves as people.
Mm-hmm.
Um. and benefit of the doubt for like the current idols, hopefully. But these people involved are insane. But I would like to give my props to, as someone who studied communication, the journalist who was brave, who started all this.
Yeah.
She still gets threats to this day, according to the
Yeah.
documentary, which is fucked up. But she's so
Yeah.
brave. She
And she,
deserves
like, not to mention,
recognition.
she was pregnant when she was doing the investigation too,
Oh,
which
that
is
part made me pause. That
crazy.
she was getting harassed while she was pregnant, and she had two
Yeah.
miscarriages. That
Yeah.
made me pause, and I was like, "Fuck!" I had to
Like
scream, like
like
"Fuck!" I was like,
imagine like having that burden all by yourself, because she said that she had to keep this from, even from her husband, because
mm.
it was such an important case that she didn't want, anyone to know about it. She had to have all the facts before, she actually publishes it. So
An
imagine going through
expose.
all
I
that.
don't know if that's the right term, but it
Yeah.
was basically that. Now it's
It was
crazy
such a
because
great service for her as a journalist, like for her to
there
release
were
that
so
thing.
many unsung heroes that weren't revealed until the documentary, at least to me, because
Yeah.
I didn't want to keep track on it, mainly because I didn't understand it when it was booming at the time. That was
Hmm.
2017 or something like that.
Yeah.
2016.
2016.
Yeah, so it was. I was still a kid. I know it was bad, but I didn't know the extent of it. But the unsung heroes revealed by this documentary is so beautiful. Um, it hurts my heart that Hara did so
Mm,
much, but we failed to protect her.
yeah.
It was, yeah. I hate the people so much for like judging women for like speaking out, especially in their country. Because the documentary also mentioned Sully, who is a
Yes.
victim of anti-feminist people in
Yeah.
that country, which is crazy. What's wrong? I'll never understand how you can be anti-feminist. It
Yeah.
doesn't make you less of a man or something like that. I may be talking out of my ass, but I know I'm not wrong. But
No, yeah. It
it
was
just
such
sucks that
a.
we lost people, and these creeps are like walking around still. And props to those who like props to those people who came out in the documentary, even if they didn't show their face, but they talked
Mhm.
about their experiences. Um, it's just unfortunate that not all of the victims got a lawyer or
The
like
justice, yeah.
is getting their justice, because it's hard to prove sometimes. I bet it's hard to, especially if they can, because I think universally the justice systems just suck
Yeah.
for every country, unfortunately.
If you have connections, yeah, you're pretty powerful.
And they
They're
did.
They did. The
Which is,
police? What? The police? They have like the police on their side, right? Like at least higher officers in their
Yep.
police. That's
Prosecutor
crazy.
General.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been quiet compared to the both of you all throughout this episode. Just kept on like thinking of the people that are important in my life. My fiance, my mom,
mhm.
my aunts. Uh, we recently lost someone in the family. My fiance's grandmother, and just like the amount of love that I have for those people, and hearing something like this, such heinous acts, like there will be really a special place in hell for people like this. Um, I was at a loss for words after watching this documentary. Still a loss for words now. I never occurred to me that the victims got justice over like a year of jail time. You know, for
I think
something
18
so
months,
horrible.
2 years, and two and a
Yeah,
Yep.
half. I feel like. I
yeah.
think that's
For something that was
respectively.
done to them so horribly.
Mm.
It's like I can only imagine, like as a male, if I were a friend of any one of those women that were involved in this, what kind of parang how do I comfort these people as a man and as their friend? my best friend is, you know, is a female. She is a lesbian. She's a proud LGBT member, and I love her to bits. Would really like throw myself in front of a bullet for her. Literally, I would really do that. And just imagining something like that happening to, to her, my mom, my fiance, it's just really horrible to think about.
Yeah. I mean,
Really heavy.
and for me personally, because I represent as non-binary throughout the pandemic. I realized that because I have a feminine side, but I am a male at birth, and I wasn't the best example of being a guy, especially as someone who wanted to conform to being straight to people. And we have all people who present as men, or who are assigned male at birth. Um, Please always aim to be better. Because even the slightest jokes can ruin someone's maybe confidence. Um, at worst, their lives because of a simple joke that we can do because of the privilege of being a man. Uh, because of privilege of being a man. Um, yeah, let's always aim to be better because we may not be uh just for anyone, I guess. We may not be as heinous as these assholes that were in the documentary or convicted, charged guilty, but
Mm.
just be better people because the way we can hurt people will affect them their entire life, and we just don't know it through words or
Yeah.
actions. Always aim to be a good person, be good people, as hard
Yeah.
as that can be. As good can be subjective, but let's just do things in ways that you know that will improve
Are
someone else.
recognized
Yeah,
are recognized
Mm.
as universally good.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because that's something that no one taught me that. I thought I was just a good kid because no one
Mm.
would call me out for bad things that I did until
Yeah.
I did. And I didn't until I got called out, and I I strive to be better since then. But I know for a fact that not everyone likes me. I will be remembered for the bad things that I did to people, no matter how small of like a bullying case that is. Not case, but like yung mga asar, mga ganun. Mga pangangasar,
Mm.
sa mga
Mm.
ganung bagay. But what matters is like moving forward, you change for the better. And if this is
Yeah.
your calling, this podcast, I hope you reevaluate your values, everything, and always aim to be good. Because if
Mm.
anything, let's not be bad people. I
Yeah.
remember in the documentary, the that she remained anonymous. This was at the end of the podcast. I mean, not podcast, the documentary. Um, she remained anonymous. She was talking so confidently until she had to talk about the case and how when she remembers it, she tears up. That broke my heart. And it was by
Mm.
the end. I had to like pause for a bit and like, no, no, because it sucks that people experience that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I wish they were tried in China or
Oh man,
somewhere extreme like fucking, I
China.
don't know, China. Man,
Why is it a
they
slap in the
deserve so
wrist
much more.
while there are idols that lose their careers for like wanting to get paid like 50-50? Isn't that crazy?
Or marijuana
Yeah,
usage.
marijuana. Wow.
I can never understand.
I wish someone can explain that, even in the most absurd way. Like, not that they don't have to justify it, just explain what the logic is. I'd love to know, just so I can hate on it more. Because what the fuck?
Can I just say that a Blackpink comeback is longer than their jail sentences? Just saying.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Shit.
That's crazy. Not that,
Shit.
like, now that you mention it, that's actually insane.
Final
Well,
thoughts, everyone?
well, I guess before
Fuck them. That's
capping
my
up,
thought.
before capping up the show, I just wanted to say, coming from a woman, like, I know all women can relate to what I'm about to say. ever since I was young, I've been experiencing like just, I guess, abuse, like verbal abuse, like just being objectified even as a kid and even until now, especially being in the public eye. Like I always experience like very disgusting comments from
Right.
people I don't even know.
I didn't want to mention it,
Um,
but
so
for sure.
um, just want to say to those people, I don't know if this is gonna get through you, but like what you said, Bobby, like even the slightest comment, or even if it's like a joke, it can still really affect girls or women. And specifically, like these criminals who did these awful things to these women, they may have some sense of relief over exposing who what they did, but then the hurt and the pain will always stay with them. Like in their minds and in their hearts, they will somehow still feel dirty. So, and it's really heartbreaking. It's like there's no words for me. Like the fact that these people are still free, like it just makes me angry. And the fact that this guy, I'm gonna name him Seungri, he's being invited into like parties in Malaysia, like singing Big Bang songs, and it's so fucking
Fuck
stupid.
What?
you.
Really? Until now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
yeah,
I the only recent news I've heard it's like the nightclub thing.
yeah. He was being invited. I'm not sure if it was Malaysia, but it's like Southeast
It's like a
Asian
birthday
countries.
party.
Yeah, a birthday
Dude,
party where
come
he was
on.
performing Bang Bang Bang. And when I saw that, I was like, fuck this guy.
Whatever
Fucking rot
country that
in
was, do
hell.
better.
It's
Oh
not the
my
country
god.
per se. It's just like the people
Oh,
that
The
sorry.
invited
people
him.
there, yeah, yeah, yeah. But still.
Mm.
Damn.
Yeah, they deserve so much more than what they got. They got a slap on the wrist
Yeah.
when they should have been. It's like
Wonder.
lifetime in prison, man. Just fucking horrible, horrible acts that were done. Yeah, it's a bit sensitive. It's a bit
I wish we
it's a
could. I wish we knew more so we could talk more, but we can only do so much.
yeah.
The best we can do
Mm.
is turn this into something not positive per se,
Like
but like
a continuous discussion, like
yeah, yeah,
discussion.
yeah,
Like
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
to
it's
make things
important, or it's enough
make
for us
people aware.
to keep
Yeah.
talking about it and make people aware.
And
Yeah,
again,
Yeah.
be better. I will always emphasize this.
props to
Anyone,
yeah.
yeah,
Sorry,
sorry.
go but
Anyone,
no, go
anyone
ahead.
I talk to, that's always my advice. Be good people.
Mm. It's never too late, guys. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
always
Yes,
turn your life around. Like as long as you're willing to, like if you want to have that for yourself and you change yourself for the better, it's never too late. Like you're never like a lost cause, or like, oh, like I'm already this, like I'm already so down bad. No, you can always be better.
props to BBC
Yep.
for
For sure.
creating
That was a brave documentary.
a great
Um,
documentary to make people aware of the situation.
Even if South Korea, not all of them, are laughing at the documentary, I'm glad that the world mostly agrees that fuck them.
Yeah.
that that it was awful. Yeah.
Anyway, um, I hope this enlightens a lot of people to keep talking about um, this epidemic in society, where a lot of women specifically get
Mhm.
ridiculed and hated and frowned upon for something that's not even their doing.
For sure.
And
Just for existing.
yeah, it's just really, really cruel. It's a cruel world. And yeah, you know, stay aware, stay vigilant when it comes to things like this. Everyone be safe, especially for the female listeners of the show. Um,
Surround yourself with good people, everybody.
yes,
Mm.
please. Um, just surround yourself with people
Yeah.
that will uplift you instead of you know asking you to drink one more shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And never
It's
be
horrible.
afraid to speak out, even if
Yeah,
it's been years that you didn't say anything. Like, if you feel like you're ready to talk about it, then, you know, you have all the right to do so.
All right.
that's the show. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
listening to the Kingdom Podcast Season
We are
4.
grateful.
We'll be back again next week for another episode, hopefully lighter than this. And yeah, next week is TKP eval, so it's Bobby's turn, which is
Oh.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay. It's my turn then. I thought that was released before this.
No, it's
Well, it's gonna be light for sure next week.
Yeah.
then.
yeah. Looking
Alright.
forward to that. Thanks everyone for listening. Have a good one. Stay safe. Cheers.
Bye.
The Kingdom Podcast is brought to you by the Kingdom Podcast creative team. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at the Kingdom Pod PH. All episodes are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Thanks for listening to the show, and see you next time.